companies are made up of human beings, and all human beings think about things and see things through their own lens. And you, as the CEO, must empathize with your customers first and foremost, but also your employees who really are also your customers. They're the ones that keep this engine going. And so it's super interesting. I was actually interviewing somebody for this podcast earlier this week, and she is the CEO of a major airport, and she also came out of a degree in communications and public relations. And I said to her, it's funny because you don't often hear the story of the pipeline, somebody who's in communications becoming a CEO. It's, maybe like a CFO or like an operations person becoming a CEO. But she said communication is the most important skill that you need to have when you're running a business full of people.
Yeah, it is really interesting, especially in tech. You don't really hear that. It's again, it's
No.
very technical or like visionary type person who's techie. But I do think like being able to communicate a problem to a vision to somebody to now make that vision come true is really
Yeah.
important. And that was the path I went through. I mean, at one point in time, there was two of us. We had our CTO and he would write code and I would look at it or he would push something to production. I was testing it. So, I can read it, I can test it, but I don't have that background.
Yeah.
I kind of think sometimes I need to go back and get it, but we'll see.
I don't know if you need to get it now, especially with all of the advances that are coming out with AI. Not that we don't need humans. I believe we'll need humans. Some of even just like the basic coding and things, you don't even need somebody for. It's more of the advanced, things and nuances that you want to bake into the product. And I think in a lot of ways that is empowering because if you do have the vision, if you do understand the needs of your customer and you believe that you can create an elegant solution, then you have the tools available now. I haven't done it myself, but I think that it might be easier for people to at least get to that first stage. What was that like for you? And how did you sort of test it? You had the ability to test it internally, but then the moment that you took it externally and showed it to someone that didn't love you, what was that moment like?
It was a little scary. We had some really great customers, and some of them are still customers today. I mean,
Wow.
we had some really good you talk about the people and the humans, really good humans at some of these brands that worked with us, were patient. You have to think 20 or 17, 18 years ago, there wasn't software like there is now. So people, I think, were a little more patient. It was groundbreaking and people wanted to be a part of it. It was really exciting and really scary. I mean, I can't tell you how many nights I stayed up till all night, 5 in the morning with our two engineers pushing code and me trying to test it. Remember, there was no automation, like
No.
even today, and I'd be sitting up. We worked with a team in India and I think I have twins. So my boys are like two and I'd be up, I'd set my alarm clock, feed them, go do my thing, go back to bed. It was fun and it was exciting and maybe it was better I didn't know what I didn't know and just trying to solve these problems. It's always been what it's about. It was really fun.
That sounds like a lot, right? But when we are passionate about solving problems and you being able to see the outcomes that you're making people's lives easier, you're allowing more transactions to happen in a much more smooth manner so that people aren't manually entering things and wasting time, really, right? You're giving people back time. I can imagine it's so satisfying. So, what was your strategy for growing and scaling? Was it just a matter of, hey, look, we've built this platform. There might be some kinks in here, but we're working them out and just sort of onboarding people onto the platform and proving that, hey, this works.
That was it. I mean, just onboarding, growing organically as we could. We're still bootstrapped. We've been bootstrapped
Mm.
the beginning. Looking at where the most impactful place to put your time, your energy, the money that you do have, you had to look at each hire in the beginning. What was gonna be the most impactful at this moment? Because you probably needed 10 different strengths and then constantly replacing for myself as the first, you're kind of like, "Hey, what am I really bad at? And like what does someone else need to be doing? Or what does someone else need to be doing?" And just kind of growing that way. It's interesting. I think if we would have taken a lot of investment on in the very beginning, it could have gone a different path, but I'm really happy with how we've grown and it's been extremely intentional. Our group's just amazing. The team around us
Oh.
now and really a lot of our employees have been here a long, long time. It's really cool what they've done and what they've been able to do. And some days I'm like, do they even need me anymore? What am I doing?
Well, isn't that truly the goal though, especially as the CEO, the founder, the visionary, if you're not working in the business as much, that allows you to think, okay, what's next? Because there's always something that's next.